Gentleman from Alabama, Congressman Moore, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman Thompson and Secretary Vilsack. Good to see you again. I'd like to first thank you for being here today and for the work that the Department of Agriculture does for our farmers, ranchers, and foresters across America. I'm sure you know farm programs and safety net programs are important to Alabama agriculture. Improvements to our nation's farm policy and ensuring timely Farm Bill reauthorization is certainly a top priority of mine, the producers that I represent in Lower Alabama. Much like my colleagues here today, and you as well, I look forward to seeing a timely Farm Bill authorization, increasing reference prices, ensuring programmatic integrity for SNAP and other federal assistance programs, and promoting wood product industries are top priorities for me in the reauthorization process and the livelihood of those I represent. The wiregrass in western Alabama are struggling to stay whole after a serious drought in recent months. Peanut producers are feeling a pinch of slimmer than ever margins and are only met with resistance by our Democratic counterparts when any suggestion is made to adjust Title I to meet the needs of modern-day production. I think it is disappointing that these producers do not feel supported by the current administration we have in place and who would rather play favorites with ERP, grab every tax dollar they can for SNAP, and pander to radical social and environmental justice agendas. It seems the agency is putting politics before policy, and quite frankly, our farmers, ranchers, foresters, and rural communities certainly deserve better. First question I have is the executive action at the Environmental Protection Agency, General Services Administration, and Department of Interior have recently been announced, which are adverse or do not consider the work of your agency and its constituents. Secretary Vilsack, how are you making good faith attempt to give agriculture a voice across this executive branch?
Well, I have an ongoing relationship with each one of those, the secretaries of each one of those departments, and we are in constant communication about policies and issues that they are adopting that may have an impact on agriculture, and we provide input. I'm certainly not going to be in a position to tell them what they should do in their department. I don't want them telling me what I should do in my department, but we do provide input, we do provide data, we do provide the consequences of what they're considering on American agriculture. That's our job. And then once a decision is made by another department, to the extent that we can, we use the resources of USDA to try to mitigate the consequences of that.
You know, I've heard the most terrifying words are we're from the government and we're here to help. And when I listen to you as the director of, or department head of agriculture, the USDA, it seems like you're battling the Department of Labor for production of food, or you're battling maybe the EPA to get them off the backs of local producers. And so would that be true, Mr. Vilsack, that probably the most terrifying words that you ever hear is we're from the government, we're here to help?
You know, let me say something about that. Yeah, you know what? And I think government does help. You know, when the farmers, you know, the crop insurance programs, the disaster assistance programs, the ARC, the PLC, the wide variety of programs that you're discussing in the Farm Bill, that is government helping. I think that the challenge is we want to make sure that government is helping and is efficient in the way that they are.
And to your defense, I think you're trying to do the job. Sometimes I don't agree with the policies that are implemented, and I certainly am not a big friend of some of the environmental stuff that's going on. But I think it seems like to me that your own government is your biggest issue sometime in trying to actually help the producers in America. And you know, I appreciate you being in a fight for us. I hope you'll continue that. I'm sure you will. But for me, it more so when I listen to you talk about the Department of Labor or these regulations that you have to try to jump through these hoops so we can have food on the tables of American consumers. You know, to me, I almost start to understand that the battle you're in is the same battle we're in many days here, is how to stop the bureaucracy and take care of the people. And so let me do one more question here, sir. I got one question. I'm running out of time. So this past June, the department announced SNAP's error rate, a rate that measured overpayments and underpayments. This announcement included an overpayment rate of 9.54%, which amounts to roughly $30 million a day. Certainly that would be an insult, Mr. Vilsack, to our taxpayers. What concrete, serious, and forward-thinking steps are on the horizon?
States basically administer the program. We are working with state governors to make sure that they understand they need to get back to a more disciplined effort in terms of SNAP. We sort of relaxed the flexibilities or created flexibilities during the pandemic. We're now asking them to go back to the ordinary work of administering SNAP, which involves, to Representative Bishop's question, face-to-face interviews, which I think will be helpful to restore integrity in the program. So we're encouraging governors, and the governors, if they fail to respond, there are sanctions that can essentially be put in place. We're concerned about this, and we should be.
Yes, we should. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. And Mr. Chairman, I'll yield back.